It's semi-final day. The 16 original competitors in the Mopar elimination drag race have been slashed down to 8. In semi-final 1 you've got the best finishers of heat 1 and 2, and in semi-final 2 the best finishers of heat 3 and 4. Only 2 will progress into the final for each semi, so let's meet who's competing in semi-final 1. And starting in lane 1, we've got the winner of heat 1. This is the Global Thrifters driving the 52-gram Ford Cortina. This is the heaviest car that has entered the whole competition. Let's see if they can put that weight to good use. And starting in lane 2, runner-up of heat 1, you've got James Collects driving the Jackhammer. Now James is adamant that he crossed the line in one of the earlier races in heat 1, and if it was given, he would have won heat 1. James is fired up, and at 41 grams, he's one to watch. And in lane 3 you've got the in-form Ricky the Legend Lee, bringing 2 race wins into this semi-final. At 34 grams, this 2011 Camaro is wild, unpredictable, and is guaranteed to put on a good show. And the controversial runner-up in heat 2 you've got Flamingo Twist, the Drift King, driving the Lancia Stratus. At 32 grams, this is a whole 20 grams lighter than the Global Thrifters. Does he care? Not one bit. The cars are racked and ready to race. Who's going to take the early advantage in the first semi-final? And as James Collects takes the race win. Awful start from the Global Thrifters. They haven't got past gate 1. Ricky Lee and the Drift King had a good battle going into the first gate. So Drift King did take a dramatic tumble there. We will have a look at the start again. James Collects got off the blocks very well, and it looks as if Drift King did actually hit gate 1 first. Didn't activate the gate, Ricky Lee did, but what that did is it put Ricky Lee up onto the central reserve, costing him speed, allowing James Collects to get through, hit the finish line first. So let's have a look at the standings after race 1. James Collects with the first win of the semi-finals puts him on top with 5 points with an early lead. Ricky Lee hitting the second gate, not getting beyond it, sits on 2 points. Global Thrifters terrible start. They'll have to up their game, sat on 1 point. Drift King dramatic flip off gate 1, 0 points. Race 2, all the cars move over 1 lane. James Collects lane 1, Ricky Lee lane 2, Drift King lane 3, Global Thrifters lane 4. And big flip from Ricky Lee, big flip from Drift King. It looks like James Collects did manage to cross the line eventually. Global Thrifters have got further this race. They've hit gate 2. Let's have a look at the replay. So it looks like lanes 1, 2 and 3 got off really well. Global Thrifters having some mechanical issues there. James Collects dispatched Ricky Lee, and then he just rolled on the speed to gate 2. Wow, huge flip by the Drift King, lands on top of the fire engine. I don't know what happened to James at the finish line there. He's stunned against the barrier, but did enough. Let's have a look. There we are, barrel roll over James Collects. Oh, look at that front flip by the Drift King. Big stunner there as well for the Global Thrifters up against the gate. What does that do to the standings? James Collects leading the way, 2 race wins to his name on 10 points. Global Thrifters, even though they haven't got further than gate 2, is still in second place on 3 points. Ricky Lee not scoring any points that round with 2 points. And you got Drift King still looking for his first points on 0. So after race 2, it's going to take something really dramatic for James Collects to now not qualify for the final. He's made a fantastic start. This has quickly become a battle for second place between Global Thrifters, Ricky Lee and the Drift King, and with so many points to play for, this could be anyone's race. So the cars are shifted over. Ricky Lee lane 1, Drift King lane 2, Global Thrifters lane 3, and James Collects in lane 4. And Ricky Lee with an early lead dispatches the Drift King, dispatches James Collects. Global Thrifters are left on the track, so they will score 2 points, but that was Ricky Lee with the race win. Let's have a look at the replay. And I'm not sure what's going on with Global Thrifters. Remember, they won heat 1, they just can't get their starts right. Good start by Ricky Lee. James Collects had a bit of a wobble after coming off of gate 1, and I think that did cost him that speed, allowing Ricky Lee to hit gate 2 first, dispatches James Collects. Global Thrifters, with the way they're going, will be happy with that 2 points. And after race 3, Drift King still scoring no points. I think his race is done. I don't think he can progress to the semi-finals, but still it's very much on for the Global Thrifters, James Collects and Ricky Lee. And with James Collects scoring no points that last race and Ricky Lee taking the full maximum, Ricky Lee has got every chance to win this group. Global Thrifters will need to work on their starts. They are still in with a chance for second place. I think getting first place at this stage is going to be a push, but still, it is 2 cars out of those 3 that are going to progress. So keep an eye, lane 2 Global Thrifters, lane 3 James Collects, lane 4 Ricky Lee, and let's not forget Drift King in lane 1. And it's between Drift King and James Collects, and Drift King wins it. It's a terrible start by Ricky Lee. Global Thrifters still on the track, but they're above gate 1. That's only 1 point. I don't think they have done enough. Let's have a look at the replay here, but I think with James Collects not scoring any points, Ricky Lee not scoring any points, it's going to be James Collects and Ricky Lee that do progress. A great win at the end for the Drift King. It is nice to see him get some points. Global Thrifters just couldn't work on their starts. If they got down to the next gate, they would have scored 2 points, and it would have been Ricky Lee and Global Thrifters in a race off for second place. But as it stands, you've got James Collects winning the group on 10 points, Ricky Lee finishing runner-up in the group on 7 points. Those two will be progressing to the final. Global Thrifters finish in 3rd, Drift King finishes in 4th. Doesn't really matter. Does not really matter. It's going to be James Collects and Ricky Lee progressing to the final. And here they are then, the first 2 finalists of the Mopar Elimination Drag Race. Winning the first semi-final, James Collects will start in lane 1. And finishing runner-up, Ricky Lee will start in lane 2. Right, let's see who's going to be joining them from semi-final number 2. And in lane 1, you've got the hometown hero, the Mopar Dodge Viper STR10. Weighing in at 40 grams, he has won Heat 3 with a clean sweep of 4 race wins, the only car to come in with a 100% record. And starting in lane 2, you've got the Toyota Corolla driven by Vinny of Mad for Miniatures. At 33 grams, he progressed through the heats with a very unique strategy of just sitting above gate 1, just keeping those points ticking over, and it worked for him. And in lane 3, the winner of Heat 4, you've got Peter the Vinegar Jar driving the 37-gram Circle Tracker. This car is built for speed, and with a reckless driver behind the wheel, anything can happen. And it did take a race off to determine who won Heat 4, and it was Kola Flipper driving the 40-gram Bentley Continental GT3 that did finish runner-up, but do not read too much into that result because Kola Flipper and Vinegar Jar were neck and neck throughout the whole heat. Cars are racked and ready to race. Semi-final race 1. And Vinegar Jar's gone on as the Master of Pieces. The Master of Pieces in the Mopar Dodge extends his winning streak to 5 races. We will have a look at the replay. It did look very close between the Master of Pieces and Kola Flipper at gate 2. Vinny sticking with the tactics that got him through the heats. It was Vinegar Jar and Kola Flipper hit the gate at the same time. Big barrel roll there by Vinegar Jar. It did just throw Kola Flipper off course, allowing Master of Pieces to get to that gate 2 first and go on and take the race win. Let's have a look at what the scores are doing. And there's confirmation. The Mopar Dodge taking the full 5 points after the first race. Vinegar Jar and Kola Flipper both ejected off the track. They score 0, and Vinny, like he did back in the heats, happy to take the single point by just stopping in front of the first gate. So the cars are moved over 1 lane, Vinny in lane 1, Vinegar in 2, Kola in 3 and Mopar in 4. And it's a straight drag between Vinegar and Kola, and Vinegar Jar wins it. Vinny happy to sit in front of gate 1, and the Mopar Dodge ejected on gate 1. I think Kola went on gate 2. We will have another look here. So all 3 cars did start well, but Kola hit the gate first, dispatched the Mopar Dodge, but it did throw him off course just like race 1, and that allowed Vinegar Jar to get the upper hand. He hit gate 2 first, flipping off Kola and taking the 4 points for the race win. And here he is standings after race 2. There is a chink in the armour. The Master of Pieces in the Mopar Dodge has been defeated for the first time this tournament. He has scored 0 points, so he sits on 5 points, tying for the lead with Vinegar Jar. Vinny, taking it slow and steady, keeping to his tried and tested tactics from the first heats, is sat on 2 points. He will have to now change his tactics. If he carries on like that, he will not qualify for the final. The Kola Flipper could do with scoring some points, and he needs to do it soon. Race 3, Vinegar in lane 1, Kola Flipper lane 2, Mopar Dodge in lane 3, and Vinny in lane 4. And all 3 cars hit the first gate, and it's Vinegar Jar who takes the race win. A very dramatic flip off the track then for the Mopar Dodge. We will have a look on the replay at that. And it looks like it was Vinegar Jar that got the best start out the blocks there. The Mopar Dodge has got a free ride down to gate 2 with Vinny being so slow, but Vinegar Jar dispatches Kola Flipper, and see you later, Master of Pieces. And here are the standings after race 3. The Vinegar Jar sat on 10 points. He is definitely qualified for the final. There's no way that he can finish outside the top 2. The Master of Pieces scores a second DNF in a row. His winning streak is well and truly over and he is wobbling. Vinny still on 3 points. Has he got a change in tactics in him? I mean, who knows? But it's the Kola Flipper that really needs to up his game. I'm sure the crowd were expecting a bit more from him. He needs to really deliver and hope results go his way into this final race. So keep your eyes on lane 1 and 2. That's the Kola Flipper and the Mopar Dodge. Vinegar Jar is in lane 4. And Mopar's gone. He's gone. Vinegar Jar couldn't catch him. Kola Flipper takes the win. Kola Flipper has taken the win, and with the Mopar Dodge scoring no points, both of them will tie in the group on 5 points. And it was a great start by all 3 cars. The Kola Flipper, he had to hit gate 1 first. He had to dispatch the Dodge to stay in the tournament, and that is what he did. A massive wobble coming out of gate 1 by the Vinegar Jar. That really took away all of his pace, and that allowed Kola Flipper to flip the gate, and he did, and he went through. He took all 5 points. That means Kola Flipper and the Dodge tie on 5 points. They have tied in second. The clear winner of the group, Vinegar Jar, on 12 points with 2 race wins. That is a great finish for him, and it's Vinegar Jar who will go through as group winner. Vinny finishing on 4 points. All he had to do was try and get over that first gate and it would have been a 3-way tie on 5 points, but as it stands, it's going to be down to the Mopar Dodge versus the Bentley Continental GT3 to find out who is going to progress to the final. And here we go. Hold your breath, guys. Mopar Dodge in lane 1, Bentley in lane 4. And they've collided at gate 2, and it is the Mopar Dodge survives. He must have just hit that gate slightly ahead of the Kola Flipper. There is confirmation on the screen. Mopar has got 1, Kola Flipper on 0, and yes, it was the Dodge just got there in time, dispatched the Kola Flipper, so it's advantage Mopar Dodge. They've switched around lanes. Bentley in lane 1, Dodge in lane 4. And it's the Kola Flipper, and that was a dominant performance. Let's have a look at the replay. It looked as if the Mopar Dodge did get tracked in gate 1. It did. It really took out all of his speed. He crashed against the barrier. A comfortable win rolling into gate 2 first by the Kola Flipper. That was dominant. So it's all square, 1-1. This race defines who goes into the final. And it's going to be the get-in. I mean, that was a really close race. It looked like the Mopar Dodge did take the race win. They are both neck and neck coming out the blocks, and they both hit gate 1 at the same time. Nasty kick and a bounce for both the cars, and it actually looked like Kola Flipper hit gate 2 first before the Mopar Dodge just chose not to activate the switch. The Mopar Dodge did, dispatched of Kola Flipper, went on to take the points. There we are. Yeah, a nasty kick out of gate 1, and it was. Kola Flipper hit gate 2 first, but just did not activate the switch. And there's proof. There is the zoom in. I guess just the speed and the bounce he took off of gate 1 just made him go in there too hot, too high, and that has cost him a place in the final. And here are your finalists. 16 cars entered the Mopar Elimination Drag Race, and now it's down to these 4. The Jackhammer, the 2011 Camaro, the Circle Tracker, and the Mopar Dodge Viper. Stay tuned, next race when we find which one of these cars is crowned king of the Master of Pieces Advanced Racing Elimination Drag Race.